It all comes down to Armageddon chess. What is it? White has 5 minutes, black has 4. White has to win in order to qualify. Black has 4 minutes and needs at least a draw to reach the final. In this game, we have Hikaru Nakamura, world number 4, USA number 1 in rapid chess versus Shak Mamedyarov, world number 13, Azerbaijan number 1. Let's go through the Armageddon game now. At the end, I'm going to show you the final standings. If it's your first time here, hello, my name is William. Let's begin. Shak has white, Nakamura has black. Knight f3, d5, g3, knight f6, bishop g2, e6, and castle. We have the Catalan setup after bishop e7. Well, with d3, we have the King's Indian attack. This is such a good strategy if you have to win. With a setup like this, you are trying to keep as many pieces on the board as possible. Castle, knight d2, couple of pawn breaks, e4, c4. Black now plays a very strange move in these kind of structures, which is knight c6, because you are blocking in your own c-pawn. That should be in the center as well. So a normal move here might be c5, and after e4, knight c6. Now you've got a couple of pawns there, but why did black not do this? Because after knight c6, blocking in his own pawn, white now went e4, and after take, e5. That's the point. You needed a knight here to defend your center. Also, black needs a draw. So if you keep the pawn structure symmetrical, then your chances of getting a draw increase. c3, you control the central square. Also, this queen could come out to b3. Bishop e6 played to stop that. Queen e2. Queen and knight now control this square. c4. a5, getting space on the queen side. Rook d1, queen out the way. Queen and bishop work well. Maybe it can go to h3 to trade it off. Knight c4. Not at the moment. Couple of knights attacking your pawn in the center. Bishop g4, pinning the knight to the queen. Knight e3, you attack the bishop. And now bishop c5, giving white a chance to take the bishop. Knight d5 was actually played, but if you take this, then you get the queen in the game. You don't want to fall for this trap, because you play queen takes g3. You're using the pin on that diagonal. So with a move like this, the game just goes on. I don't think this bishop is so good at the moment. Rook d8, rook e8, very sensible moves, and black has got all his pieces on good squares. Knight d5 played in the game, and knight back to e8. Not offering a trade, but I just want to show you this really cool idea. If you take, it just looks so good for white. I don't blame Nakamura not going for this, but I just want to show you this cool idea. Knight retreats to e7, queen takes e5, it looks like you've just chucked a pawn. Yes and no. Knight g6, you attack the queen moves back, rook e8. You attack the queen again. These are called tempo moves. You get your pieces in the game by attacking your opponent's pieces. Queen out the way, and now rook a6. A really cool idea. You swing the rook over, rook a6, rook f6, attacking the knight on the fr. Really cool way to play. But after knight d5, knight e8 played. Bishop e3 offering a trade. Nakamura says no, let's keep the structure solid. Queen c4, king out the way, because he wants to move the f-pawn. White's pieces look quite well placed. I would say white is slightly better. Very strong knight right in the center. Rook d2, planning to double. f6, got your pawn chain this way, and you got a bishop holding things. Knight h4, white needs to create something. Knight might come into f5 later. Knight e7, good strategy from black. You've got your center sorted. Knight is on e7, attacking knight on d5. So this is a good strategy. If you've got less space, try to trade off your opponent's pieces. Knight e7 does that. Knights come off. Take. And bishop might come back to e6. Looks like the pressure is kind of disappearing for white. Queen back to f1. Really cool move when you get a chance to play it. You retreat the queen, and the idea is you can play h3 to attack the bishop. So queen f1 played, knight d6, knight in the middle. By the way, knight f5, just blocking that path, if you were wondering why knight f5 wasn't chosen. You don't want to do this because you open the bishop. So queen f5, bishop b7, no way. No good for black. So a really cool move here. Knight attacks bishop, but you just attack his knight and queen at the same time with knight d6. Offering a trade, and black has a good position, very solid. Knight d6 played. h3, kick it away, bishop retreats. Now the knight can come in c4. So white now plays b3 to stop that. But this is now a target, so a4. I really like black setup. Every piece is on a good square. Rook b1, defending the pawn. Take, take. This pawn is only defended by the bishop. Nakamura now strikes by playing g5, attacking the knight. This knight doesn't have a good square. If it comes to f5, you just lose a pawn a different way. Take, take, take. Shak decides to keep more pieces on the board with knight f3, but you give up the center pawn. Rook and pawn both attack, so rook c2 played. When you get this kind of position, after you've bagged the pawn, just retreat the knight back. It's done its job. Bring it back home, very safe, defended by pawn and bishop. Rook c1, knight f5 attacking this, bishop out the way, rook d8, get the file, rook e1, bishop c5 using this. King h2 played. So knight takes g3 is now a threat, so king h2 gets out the way, rook a2, really cool move because the rook comes in this way, the rook is on the d file. Black is now threatening to win. 2 pieces for the rook, so rook e2 defending, and rook back to a6. It can come to d6 now. Knight g5. White has to go crazy because he has to win this game in order to qualify for the final of the new in chess tournament. Shak goes crazy. Knight takes g5. I don't blame him. Take, take. Bishop f6 check coming in. Also bishop very strong. So when your opponent has a very good piece, offer a trade. Also, white has this coming up as well. He's going to get a few pawns for the piece. Bishop e7. You try to liquidate the pressure, reduce the pressure. Bishops come off. Rook e5. Knight g6, attack the rook. Rook goes to b5, attacking b7 with the bishop. Rook b6, offer a trade. Rook h5, facing the king. Bishop back to g8. No attack really. Let's see the rest. c4, queen e6, queen f6, controlling dark squares this way and squares on the f file. Rook e3, rook d6, getting the d file, coming in. Bishop e4, stopping the entry. Rook e6, pinning. Not only are you a piece up, but you are reducing your opponent's activity. Pinning on the e file. Queen in the game. Rook d6, coming into d2. Rook f5, attack the queen, queen moves out the way. All protected. Queen f3, c6, h4. h5, h6, white has to create something, but every pawn push is a weakness. The g4 square is now available to black. Knight e5 played. Attacking queen and the square g4. So if you move the queen out the way, then check, and you're going to pick up the rook. So white decided to give it up a different way. Rook takes knight. Queen takes. Bishop takes h7, a discovered attack. But even though discovered attacks are so good, white is down so much material. Moves the queen out the way, offering a trade. Fair enough. Bishop stops that. Bishop in the game. Bishop f7, stopping queen h5 check. Rook e4. Rook d4, offering a trade. Black is up a rook. He says no. Rook f8, put the pressure on the f file. And after h5, really cool move. Just using the discovery. Rook, queen, bishop. Bishop takes c4, clearing the way. If you take, then you lose that one. So g4 played, and bishop back to e6. Really cool move. Still using the pin on the f file. Can't take, because take. You're just going to be down too much. Take, take. Totally losing. Bishop e6 played. Queen g3. Queen gets out of the way, but that's it. There's no way through after queen g3. Take, take. Very sensible. Queen h4 check, offering a trade, and black is going to be up a rook. To be more accurate, you can actually play rook h4 check. It's a lot better because you force the king to the g file, and then you can go rook g8 just to win the queen. But after queen h4 check, white resigned anyway, and Nakamura is through to the final of the new in chess tournament. Let's check out the final standings. Semi-final day 1. Nakamura won the match 3-1. Day 2, he lost 3-0. The 2 rapid games were drawn, and he just won the Armageddon game. In the other semi-final, it was Carlsen against Aronian. It was 2-2 on day 1. Then Carlsen, he won 3-1. So we have the final of the new chess tournament, Carlsen versus Nakamura. Here's YouTube's suggestion for what to watch next, but if you don't like their option, here's mine. Alireza Firouzja beats Magnus Carlsen in 29 seconds. This is a bullet game. The first part of the video is the opening theory, but the second part is actually a live recording of the game.